Hey, do we know? Do we have? You still got pictures of that?
Of the check.
Yeah, so we can talk about that. You did.
The ones they made out of cash.
Because I be deleting stuff as fast as I get.
Let me go here.
Especially ones made out of cash. My daughter has a special.
Cadence.
Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? We are back again, y'all. The camera over there. The camera over there. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Conversations with the Culture. That's right. We are back here tonight, and guess what? We got another special guest in the building with us. But first, I'm gonna introduce her. But first of all, let's give it up for Lady Drina back in the house again.
Hey, my peeps, how y'all doing? We ready?
Minister Randolph Carter, Doctor. So clap it up for the
Doctor.
myself and I.
Yes, sir.
Me, myself, and I.
That's all I got in the E. Hey, and next to me is the incomparable Dr. Jacinth. Y'all, we had to come together tonight because we got to lay it out for y'all. We do like to have fun. Y'all understand that. But let me tell y'all something. This is so serious. This is so serious. So we got to, you know what, y'all? I was going to try and lay off of this man for a minute. And I was going to try. That was my goal. My goal and my thought process was lay off of the man for a minute, right? And let's talk about what New Life Church of Orlando is doing.
Yeah.
But he continues to do
antagonize. Yeah.
He continues to do attacks, sneaky, covert things, and his minions are helping him.
Right.
The hyenas.
And the biggest hyena who been doing it on the sneak tip is that Earl Carter. But we're gonna straighten you out tonight, sir.
Yeah.
While you out there, you supposed to be the prophet, but you proper lying instead of telling the truth. We're gonna straighten you out tonight.
Learn your facts.
Learn your facts. Don't get it third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh hand. Because the problem, you know what exactly. You know what I think, y'all? I think that he believes that Dennis is going to take over the church. And that's going to give him an opportunity to come in.
I mean, they already gave him opportunity to preach.
They gave him opportunity to preach. But guess what? See, he promised something. But see, he think he's smarter than Dennis. You got two crooks. Because he's working together. So you're going to get one that's going to try to finagle the other.
There's no honor among thieves.
No honor among thieves. No honor among thieves. So quit the lying. You lied when you said that we sued Dennis. And you got a lot of people out here thinking that we sued. New Life Church of Orlando sued people. And I'm one of the ones that they sued.
That's right.
Dr. Brockington is one of the ones that they sued.
And I'm just an other.
She's one of the other. And Minister Carter is one of the others. So Drina and Carter are one of the others. The unnamed, right? Yeah. But the named ones, I was served on July the 7th while I was working, because I work from home. A processor came all the way from Orange County to Polk County, knocked on my door at 10:46 a.m. in the morning.
Come on, show the proof.
And served me with papers because we were being sued by Dennis Hutchins.
That's right.
Who claims himself to be New Life Ministries of Orlando. So he's operating as New Life, as the church.
As the church.
We didn't sue the church.
And you're suing tithe payers.
Tithe payers.
And offering givers.
And offering givers. using the church money to
Ministry
make
leaders.
these lawyers rich.
Yeah.
So
ministry
Odessa
leaders.
could go and buy her a new wig. I'm sure she did. I got to get her. I got to get her. I got to get her. Odessa bought a new wig, and McMillan definitely fattened up his pockets. They ready for Christmas and New Year's. So let's lay it out tonight, y'all. Let's lay it out tonight. First of all, we got to talk about, and got my address on here. It's my address on this letter, stamped on this letter. This was specifically to me. Yours had your address on it too, Dr. Parker.
It had the
They served
business.
me at my place of
So they
business.
served you at the business with
They
the
sure did.
business address. So when they served me, I have never been sued in my
Ever.
life.
I'm
Never
over
been
and
sued.
Yeah. Me
Never.
either.
Never been sued. We have
Not a
never
happy
been sued.
camper.
How in the world does that happen, right? It happened. And let me read it to y'all. This is what it says, Earl Carter. A lawsuit has been filed against you. You have 20 calendar days after this summons is served on you to file a written response to the attached complaint petition with the clerk of this circuit court located at Orange County Courthouse, 425 North Orange Avenue, Orlando, Florida, 32801. A phone call will not protect you.
Wow.
Who was sued? Who sued who?
Exactly.
We didn't sue anybody.
That's right.
He went and got the lawyers using the church money to pay for the lawyers, the rent, the lease, the tithe, the offering. Dennis did to sue. Why? Because we voted him out.
Yep.
That's right.
Yep.
Talk about it.
We voted him out.
Simple, straight as that.
He usurped the process. He did everything wrong.
Right.
He came in. He said that we did a hostile takeover. But let me tell you,
He was the only hostile person.
Nothing is more hostile than a covert takeover.
That's right.
Because you don't even know that you've been thieved.
That's right. And what's attached to that? Also, the things that were attached.
Oh, let me tell y'all what's attached to
Yeah.
this lawsuit.
There's
These
some
papers
things
that I was
attached.
served. Attached is the fake letter that
The
he wrote.
fake letter.
The fake letter. And then not only is it fake, but then we had people who actually acknowledged
That it was
that
fake.
it was fake
From
We
your
got
fact.
proof.
from his faction.
Yes, got proof that
That
it's
it was
fake.
fake.
Wow.
His faction.
Board members from his faction.
Board members from
members
his faction
From his faction.
confirmed the
That the letter is
non-validity.
fake.
It's
My God.
non-valid.
Exactly.
And the judge threw it out. Have you talked about that, Carter?
Nope.
Have you talked about that, Elder
No.
Earl Carter?
Nope.
Have you addressed the fact that this letter was fake while
Nope.
you're telling us? And then you're lying, telling people that we won. It's all we ain't
We
won
have
nothing.
never
case is not even
said
over.
that it's not even over. We've never said
not
we
even
won
over.
A
anything.
thing.
We've never said
Wow. Amazing.
Never.
This is like the most deranged
It's
thing I
ridiculous.
ever seen in my life. And and got people thinking that we
We were the
sued.
instigators.
We were the instigators of this lawsuit. We did. We came together because we saw what Dennis Hutchins was doing was wrong,
that. Right.
totally wrong.
Exactly.
And everyone sitting here around this table at one point was behind him 100%.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
We
sure
were behind him.
Yes.
We tried to make sure that we wanted to keep the church going.
Going.
We wanted
That's
the
right.
ministry to
As a
go.
matter of fact, Marcus, just a few weeks ago, we just explained to the people that there are no winners. Technically,
There are
Nowhere.
none.
None.
No.
because the people lose.
Yes.
There's a disconnect between the membership, and all
Yep.
we've been trying to do
Absolutely.
is
Bring it
things
together.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's exactly what we've been doing. And
That's
it's
what we said. There's no winners.
None.
no
There's
winner.
None.
winners in
No
this.
winner. So why would we put out on Facebook, we won?
It's never been on Facebook.
Nobody
that we
said
won.
that. Nobody said. As a matter of fact, we were getting calls from people crying because they were saying Dennis them won. And we were
Exactly.
like, where y'all
What are you
get
talking
that
about? Where you get
from?
that from?
Yep, exactly.
Where did it come from? Nobody even heard that.
So,
Nobody even knew
The
that.
truth of the matter is the last order that came out that is presently being appealed,
Mhm.
it only stated that the organization needs to be redone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's what it meant.
Mhm.
Nobody won. They said come together and restructure,
Mhm.
revote, restructure.
But
Put it
the
together.
way it sounds like to me is that they don't want the people to have a voice.
They don't.
Right.
That's what the whole
Beginning.
Or you already know that you don't have enough for your voice.
Exactly, and that's where Earl Carter came with talk about Gideon and using
Yes.
scripture out of context.
Very out of
Using
context.
it out of context.
Very.
This is not a spiritual fight against
At all.
It's not.
At all.
Crazy.
At
Because
all,
the truth
bro.
of the matter is, regardless of what faction you are part of, you are new life.
Exactly.
We all ate together.
Mhm.
We cried together.
Mhm.
We served together. We worshiped together. We are family,
Exactly.
regardless of what faction you are part of. And we are working to keep the family
Together.
together.
Exactly.
This whole thing is falling apart. Not falling apart, but this whole thing is so divided because of one person. And I keep saying it.
Mhm.
One person is at the center of this.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Of course,
And that's
of course,
Dennis Hutchins.
Of course.
He's at the center of all of this. And I even spoke to someone the other day and I said, this man is going to continue until one or two things happen. Either his head is cold,
Mhm.
or he is sick in the hospital.
Wow.
Other than that, he's going to
And that's
continue.
really sad.
It is sad because you don't understand. Here's the gravity of this thing. The amount of people that were hurt, damaged, displaced spiritually
Right.
in Chattanooga, Tennessee. You've never gone back and apologized, never talked, never had a conversation with
It's almost like
anybody.
it never happened.
It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
That. Then you had the church in South Carolina,
Columbia.
Columbia, South Carolina.
Wow.
Damage was done. Did the same thing, if done on a different level in
Yeah.
Columbia, South Carolina.
I agree.
Now you are here in Orlando doing the exact same thing. You have a pattern of chaos. You have a pattern of destruction.
Yes.
You have a pattern of non-leadership ability
Yes.
and or skill.
Yeah.
And those people's spiritual lives are going to be held against you
Yeah.
by
He's
God.
going to be held
Yeah.
accountable.
It's going to be
Yes,
held
he is.
accountable for that. You
Absolutely.
Yes, yes.
can hide under the guise of, oh, I'm doing God's will. I'm doing the Lord's will.
Please
You are
prove that.
not.
Please
You are
prove
The
not.
Bible says, woe unto you.
Yeah.
Scatter.
Scatter my
Scatter.
sheep.
And let me tell you
Scatter.
something. Even last night, Pastor Derek Hutchins made mention, which it was something just special, and it touched the hearts of the people.
Yeah.
After all this, what about the soul?
What
Yes.
about
So important.
What about the
Yes.
soul? Out of this
Exactly.
We're
fight, there's
forgetting that
souls.
there are souls
important.
involved. It's
Wow.
important.
So important. The
Yeah.
most
Somebody's going to
important
have to
thing.
answer to it.
The most important thing out of this whole ordeal is the fact that souls are important.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly.
And that the people are being neglected. They're
Yeah,
actually
Absolutely.
they're being used, they're being abused. And it's like, to me, it's like this old man, this old ornery
Mm.
man
Mm.
with his old ornery partners who are supporting him
Mhm.
in this this
Debauchery.
debauchery.
Yeah.
There's so many words you can't even find the right words to just explain this thing. It's just so crazy. So we still have, and we're sticking to what the judge deems as the true bylaws
Yep.
That's right.
of this church, the
1999.
actual bylaws that are with the state of Florida.
Yeah.
Yes.
They've never been changed. It is still the same. There have never been any amendments to this. And these bylaws, thank God, were still the only bylaws. Thank
Yeah.
God, thank God, thank God. Because these bylaws are what we have to stand
Yeah.
on.
Yes.
So everything else that came after this, which was
Doesn't
never
even matter.
amended, it doesn't even matter.
That's
and the
right.
judge didn't even recognize
Never
it.
filed.
He
It
threw it
wasn't-
away.
He threw it out.
Yeah, threw it out.
Tossed it out. Now, when we went into court, the last time we went
Yeah.
into court, the judge said to us, I'm so disappointed in y'all
Yes.
Mhm.
Very
because he gave
disappointed.
us what to do
Mhm.
in
Or
this
what-
order.
Yep. August 4th.
He gave us what to do, told us what to do. And in that order, there were certain things that we were supposed to follow. Now, we did some of the things, but we didn't do all of the things. So that's why on
And
our
that's on both sides.
it's on
Let's
both
be
sides.
honest.
So when I'm saying
Yeah.
when I'm saying I'm talking about us
Yeah.
all. Absolutely. So when we went back to court, that's why the judge said,
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed in y'all
Yes.
because y'all didn't do what I said.
Exactly.
However, this order still stands.
Yeah.
Then he gave a final order. Now, some important things in this order that Minister Carter is going to talk about, and we're going to get to that. But I wanted to I wanted to let y'all know that when we got the final order, somebody pull that final order up, because if you got it on that email, you check your
The
email,
final?
Doctor.
Is that
Yeah, you got a copy of that from from Elder
Van?
Johnson. Yeah, Elder Van
I
Johnson.
think so. Let
It's
me
a
go
final
back.
order.
Well, you know why y'all finding that? What's funny is another thing that Dr. Earl Carter mentioned was that we are standing before a heathen judge.
That's what he said. He said a
That's so
heathen
far from the truth.
judge.
A heathen
So
judge. And
far.
number
So
one,
far.
this judge, when we first came into the courtroom, he made it plain and
The
clear
first
that
thing he
first of
said.
all,
Mhm.
I'm Christian.
Yes,
That's what he said.
I've
now.
sat on boards.
yes.
Mhm.
I've served in many capacities in
He
the
was a
church.
deacon.
He
That's
was a
what he
deacon.
said.
He was on the evangelism
The
board,
trustee board.
the trustee board, the
So he-
finance committee, the evangelism, the missionary. This
Mhm.
man has done it.
And all he's been trying to do this whole
He
time
want us to
was
work
try to
together.
bring it together.
Yes.
That was the whole purpose for the IAB. board.
Exactly.
Yes.
Okay, let's get two people from that side, two people from this side. It's gonna bring
Y'all
harmony.
work
hopefully.
That's
together.
right.
Right.
Work together.
His ideal.
Work
That's what he
together.
wanted.
That's what he wanted. That's what he asked
Yeah.
for.
Mhm.
So, and in doing so, bringing the IAB together, there was some other things that he said, because Minister Carter had ran into some issues.
Mhm.
Like, do y'all not know that there is a report out
Mhm.
for Pine Hills,
Mhm.
the whole radius of Pine Hills? More 911 calls have come from 3311
This church.
Oh,
This
North
church.
Powers
Not
Drive
surprised.
Than
than the
anywhere.
Not
whole
surprised.
Pine
Community.
Hills community.
This is
Yeah.
Oh,
a
my
graph.
Lord.
This is
Yeah.
a graph, and this church is 37%.
And they want to know
of the
what
graph.
is
This
going on
church.
here.
We have never called 911.
Wow.
We have never called 911.
But it has been called on
It
us.
has been called on us
More
for
than multiple times.
non-emergency. Now, what is 911 used for?
For emergencies.
Really
Drina, you worked
emergency.
you worked
I
at
did
the
it for
police
14 years,
in the
911
police
emergency.
station. 911. You and when those people call for it, there are real.
Emergencies.
What are they
And
calling
if
for,
it's
Drina?
not an emergency, they have a non-emergency line.
Mhm.
And it comes to the same call center, but it prioritizes the call at a different level.
Mhm.
When you call 911, it automatically puts officers in a higher
Mhm.
level
Mhm.
of priority.
Exactly.
They're going to come responding with lights and
Wow.
sirens to figure out what's really going on.
Exactly.
And then when you have people amplifying that call, saying that there are weapons on site or somebody's going to fight,
Mhm.
which that has happened
Mhm.
here on this campus, which has been lies.
Yeah.
Right.
Which has been lies. And when you have that, you get, like we've had before, over 10 officers showing up to
Yeah.
one facility,
That too.
and then there's nothing found.
That's right.
And
That's a waste of resources.
And it affects the ministry more
It
ways than
does.
one, because
Yes.
if you're contemplating buying a home in this,
In this
area,
area.
Exactly.
it's going to show the crime rate
Wow.
and
Yes.
so forth. And guess
And
what?
it depreciates the property value.
Exactly. And the insurances.
And
Yeah.
goes up, the
Yes.
insurances go
The
up.
insurance
higher.
for this building, the amount of calls that are going. This is why these people are ignorant.
And selfish.
They are
On the same
ignorant.
camp.
They don't even understand the gravity or the level. If you have a business, this is where you get the ghetto hood stupidity
Yeah.
that comes with just plain simple-minded people.
Yes.
Why would you call 911 for a non-emergency issue instead of just saying, hey, because, hey, can we talk for a minute? What are you doing? You don't even have to do that, because if you had read the judge's order,
Read.
Mhm.
Randolph, the police were called on Minister Carter
As of Sunday.
Sunday.
As of Sunday. And the reason being because we're moving to Oregon. The
Yeah,
legacy faction moved to Oregon out of the
faction.
sanctuary. Now, if you look at this order here,
What the order says. Read it.
the court acknowledges the right of the membership to peacefully use, access, and enjoy the facilities,
Mhm.
and assets
Assets.
of the church while this matter is pending.
Assets.
That's everything. We have
Everything.
We have shared access.
Shared access.
And the thing about it is, number one, we can deal with several things here. I'll start with this. We share the keyboard,
Yes.
the Yamaha motif. We share that both factions
Both,
share that.
both.
Mhm.
Both factions. Number one, this organ that we're using, no one is utilizing it on Sundays.
That's right.
None of the Haitian congregations use the organ.
Neither
Right.
does the Spanish speaking congregation either. They
Neither
don't
Nobody
do
use
knows
it.
how to
Exactly.
use it on those
Mhm.
sides.
I have the proper equipment to transport it. Number one. Matter of fact, it came from my workplace.
He's
Yeah.
an organ specialist, and everybody knows that around the country.
Now, come on now. And number one, if something was to go wrong with the organ, who's the company going to send?
You.
Minister Carter.
Minister Carter.
So it's foolishness. It's
Yeah.
confusion.
It's
and it's-
foolishness.
Besides,
And the organ is given back after every service.
and before the service starts, it's removed. So there's no confusion
None.
going on whatsoever.
None.
It's never done when anybody is in church. It is never moved while people are having service. Plus, they don't even play the
They
organ.
don't.
They don't use it.
And the thing about it, I make certain that it's back in place because, of course, our church, we rent out our facility for funerals and
Right.
and stuff.
Mhm.
I want to make sure it's in place that, just in case they have something going on Monday through Saturday. By Saturday, okay, it's Sunday again the next
Wow.
day. So what's the big issue
I
here?
can't believe they
Right.
called
And
it
before that organ was even
I
brought
can't.
into the church,
Yep.
Minister Carter, 6 years, his organ was being his
My
personal organ, and
Personal
Leslie.
organ.
And I don't have to steal the organ for nothing. Matter of fact, I got an organ.
You got
sitting in
one
there.
sitting here.
I got one sitting in there. Just got a little issues that I was
Right.
able to deal with.
Right.
Yeah, it needs a little tune up.
Got another one that sitting in my garage.
Yeah.
What do we need to steal an organ for?
Wow.
Right.
So the
It's
police
foolish.
the sheriffs were called. 911 was called. 911.
A waste of resources.
Wow.
This is the ignorance of those people
Mhm.
because the order is clear.
Mhm.
If you got eyes that you can read and you can comprehend, there is no way in the world that you cannot see
That's
that
right.
it says
Read it again.
here.
Number 4.
Yep.
The court acknowledges the right of the membership to peacefully use, access, and enjoy the facilities and assets of the church while this matter is pending.
That's
It is
right.
still pending
Pending.
because we had another order
Yes.
that the judge gave a final order. So this is still in force along with the final order
That's right.
that we are following, because when we walked in that courtroom and the
Mhm.
judge said, "I'm disappointed in y'all," I felt that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't call that man an unjust judge. That
Yeah.
man has rightfully done so many good things for the kingdom. You
You're
Unjust.
You're
are very unjust. You
Very
spent
unjust.
14 years dragging
Judge.
Bishop Derek W. Hutchins through the mud.
Not
Yeah.
just Bishop. Not just
The
Bishop.
whole
The whole
entire-
ministry.
Not even just a
The-
ministry.
it
Several,
Kojic.
several iconic leaders in
In
the
the
national
Bishop
army.
Blade,
We can go.
We
down-
can
we
go
can go down the
a
list
whole
of the
list.
people that you strike
Yeah.
war against.
Yeah.
You strike war against people, and I sat and listened to him.
Hmm.
I sat and listened to him, and I told you I talked to him.
Mhm.
This was before Bishop even passed away. I sat and talked to him, and he told me about the whole thing. Right after that Andrew Caldwell
Mhm.
mess,
Mhm.
that Porter helped to
Mhm.
amplify.
Yeah.
Mhm.
After Elder Carter finished preaching, then Bishop Porter came and helped amplify, and everybody, that young man, that man now has become like he all over the internet, all over
Wow.
social media,
And still no change.
and still no change, all on different platforms. He's on reality TV
Reality
shows
Got
and
his body
everything,
work done.
all kinds of stuff amplified. And he told me, he gave me a whole story of what he said Bishop Blake said to him, and the letter and all that kind of stuff. And still Bishop Derek W. Hutchins reached out with a helping hand to help keep you from going
Mhm.
under
Mhm.
all
Yeah.
the way.
Mhm.
And you spent 14 years.
Mhm.
So for him to tell people that he erased all those videotapes
They're still up.
They should not have been made to begin
And
with.
from the
That's
beginning.
from the
Exactly.
beginning.
Yeah.
And see,
Made it all.
and I can tell you, there's no way, there are hundreds of thousands of
'Cause it
hours
was like
of
every
video,
day he
Wow.
was going live.
footage. There's
Yeah.
hundreds of thousands.
And
There's
the
no
whole
way.
thing, and the whole thing started. I was there.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I was in the
You were
organ-
organ that
night.
that took place. But the whole
Wow.
fight, even in the whole platform, even started because he was upset with Bishop Blake and he was upset. And where Bishop Derek W. Hutchins came in at is because he wouldn't side with him to come against
Right,
him.
Bishop Blake.
And then it's some other things that took place on a Bible study. I'll never forget.
Wow.
Oh yeah, over on White Road.
On Clark Road, yeah.
Oh, Clark Road,
yeah,
Clark Road.
And the bishop was giving him a certain amount of money once a month to preach in this particular.
Look, just go ahead and tell the people how much money the bishop was putting in his pocket.
It was $1,000 every fourth Sunday. Every fourth Sunday.
Is that not substantial?
Every fourth Sunday. And this particular, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Pentecost Sunday, something was going on, and Bishop had him to preach on a Wednesday night at the time, and he was expecting that same $1,000. And Bishop said, "Hey, man, this is a Bible study night. We ain't raising that type of money.
Right, not on Bible study.
And I'm gonna be preaching on this Sunday.
On this coming Sunday."
And from there, I'll never forget. I was coming down Clark Road, heading home, and I got the phone call that Earl Carter was outside trying to fight Bishop.
Tried to fight Bishop.
So he's just really bitter.
For $1,000.
Fight
He's just bitter.
He's just bitter.
Not just for
How's that?
$1,000, but also for the
Wow.
simple fact, and then you spend 14 years dogging Bishop out, dragging him, calling him gay, saying all kinds of negative, nasty things about Dr. K. You did a whole lot of stuff, and now you hook bug with his brother.
But think about this, guys. Think about this,
Oh my
because some of the
gosh.
stuff that he would reveal had to come from somebody
It
in the
had
family.
to.
And
It
so
had to.
with him aligning with Dennis, it makes sense how he got information.
Wow.
Hello, somebody. Y'all got to pay attention.
Oh yeah, I look
But
at
it
that.
makes sense
I look
how
at
you
it.
got information that you went live
That
about,
nobody knows.
that nobody else
Right.
knew.
It was an
But all
inside
of a sudden,
source.
you got an inside source, and now you buddies with him.
Let me tell you something. Now,
I believe they've been buddies all
even
along.
during that time,
course.
let me tell you something. I can
course.
commend Bishop. He's sleeping and he's resting in God. Let me tell you one thing he would tell the congregation. He said, "I hear what's being said about me."
Yes.
He said, "But you know what I won't do?" He said, "Matter of fact, I'm not going to stand behind this pulpit and bash anybody."
At all.
And I got the influence to be able to do a whole
He
lot more
can.
things.
Yeah.
He said, "But I won't take a bat and swing
Swing
it
at a
net."
net.
At a net. That's
Mhm.
what he
Take a
said.
bat,
I'm not
swing
gonna
at a
take a
net.
bat
And
and
swing it at a
swing
net.
at a net.
Never
Wasting
would.
time.
My
Never would.
Lord,
Wasting
today. That's
time.
the word right there.
It
That's
is.
Wow.
It is crazy because see now we do have the opportunity. We can go in the church. We can walk through any part of this building, because what Dennis sued us for was that he wanted us off the property.
premise.
Period. Didn't want us to
Banned.
have anywhere to go to the
Removed.
church. Didn't want us to have access.
Excommunicated.
Even when we first started having service in here, they were
Put all kinds of-
threatening Dr. Brockington.
Sending the police every
Harassment.
They
Sunday.
were calling police. She would be in here. What's his name? What's the man with the knock knees that called the police on you? Yeah, Mancy would come down here and harass Dr. Brockington,
And slap stuff on the door.
putting trespassing sign, knock it.
You know,
I'm
and
sorry.
it's sad. It's sad because number one, you got to look at this thing now. Let's really look at it.
Wow.
These are you trying to displace some of the original members.
Yeah.
And we can talk about
Over
Malone.
26 years.
You know, we can go past that.
Yeah.
Long and Jernigan before
Wow.
they became
Yes.
became Malone on Ivy Lane.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
These old mothers.
Yeah.
That
These
has
people
been
have
here.
sold and
Yeah.
invested in this ministry, and because of an opinion,
Opinion.
because of an opinion, that's what really got all of us
That's
where we
it.
are right now.
That's
Because of our
Because
opinion.
of our opinion.
Yeah.
You know?
And he don't want a person who has
A different opinion than his own.
a different opinion than his.
He's
He's a bully.
He is a bully.
And he's a a dictator.
A dictator.
Yes.
And he
Yes.
wants
That's a
it's
bad
either my way
combination.
or it is a very
It's a
very
horrible
bad
combination.
combination.
Yes, it
It's
is.
terrible. And even when I sat down at the meeting with him and I talked to him and I said to him, I said, listen, I don't have to agree with you in order to be able to
Right.
work
Work
with you.
right?
And he couldn't understand that. That was beyond his ability to comprehend that somebody could not agree with you,
And still
but
work
still
in
be
the
able to
And
work
still
with
work
you.
with you.
He couldn't understand that. He was
Yeah.
like, well, how can you not agree with me and work with me easy? That
It
happens
happens
all the time.
I don't have to
Let's create
agree.
an
He doesn't know what
example.
ministry
Yeah, I
is.
We
don't
can
have
even
to
create an
agree.
example. If we was in choir rehearsal and you
Yeah.
say this note goes like, I'm like, no, bro.
Yep.
our main objective was to get through this
Get
song.
through this song.
Get through this song.
That's right. Get the job done.
Yeah.
And that's why I was telling. And he was like, "Well, and let me squelch this other lie that Elder Carter is talking and other people are saying. I was never fired.
Right, exactly.
I was
Fired from
never
whom?
fired from right.
He can't fire
I
you.
was never fired, and he did. And in the order that they filed, they
Mhm.
filed a 19-page motion against the judge's final order.
Yes,
Wow.
they
And
did.
for
In that
rehearing.
for
For a
a rehearing,
Which was denied, by the way.
which was denied. And Dr. Brockington, do you not know that in that 19-page filing, they said that you are not a member of this church?
Personally?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
What?
Yes. Yes. They said Dr. Brockington is not a member of this church. This was I don't know if it was Odessa or if it was Macmillan, one of the two
And
of
they
them type
both
of, but
there.
I read it. I read it. They said that you were not a member.
Mhm.
They said that Elder Van Johnson was not a member. They said that
Look where they got it from.
right.
course,
They got the
of course.
information. They got it from
Wow.
Dennis because he
That's
said it.
crazy.
And then when it came to me, they said that, well, regarding Marcus, it is not clear because Dennis put him out of the church.
Mhm.
You can't
What
put
do you
me
make them
out
look
of
so
the church.
stupid?
And that's it against the bylaws. And it was
And
like,
you know what's crazy? For them to
someone
be lawyers,
Mhm.
for them
Why?
to be lawyers, they are just
Very narrow-minded.
narrow-minded and it's foolish because you put together these documentations with your name
And you don't know
signed,
if it's a truth or
and
not.
you don't know if it's
And
a
you're
truth
representing
or a
them.
lie. And honestly, one of them do know it's a lie.
Mhm.
Let's
Yeah.
just be real.
Yeah.
yeah,
Now, I think the other ones are in a little dark sometimes,
Mhm.
but one of them for sure who knows Bishop,
Mhm.
yeah,
he know this stuff is a
Yeah.
lie,
He knows.
but he's
Hmm.
there for the almighty
And pay
dollar.
attention.
It's
that's
the
what
almighty
it
dollar.
boils down
The
to.
almighty dollar.
So, Minister Carolyn Griffin said, so are there more meetings planned to try and get to some resolutions? Unfortunately, Minister Griffin, Dennis has not only filed a petition, which would revamp, or he tried to
Go
go
back to
against the
the-
final order of the
Right,
judge,
right.
Mhm.
which that motion for a rehearing on that final order, which you are aware of, because
Mhm.
that final order said that the factions were to come together,
Mhm.
re-elect a new board, and that new board would elect a pastor.
Mhm.
We are following that order. They submitted a motion against that final
Mhm.
order,
Mhm.
19 pages,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and the judge denied a rehearing.
Yeah.
They have filed an appeal.
Yes.
Mhm.
So this appeal has nothing to do with that final order. It is with a whole new law
A
firm,
new
That's
level.
right.
a
The
whole
appellate
new
So they're
level.
The
using
appellate courts.
more funds.
This law firm
What?
is 75 to 100K.
Mhm.
Yep.
75 to 100K
Yep.
is what it's going to cost. And they are white people. So you're not going
What?
to sit
People
in their chair. It's going
understand.
to cost you 25,000 just to sit in their chair and get counsel.
There's no payment
Where
plans.
do you? There's no
And there's
payment
no
plan.
payment plan.
There's no payment plan.
It's cash.
Our attorneys are black, and they're doing their work. But this
Appellate court
appeal
level?
at the appellate court level, you have to be you have to have a specific girt under you
Mhm.
to do that. You can't,
Way
Macmillan
more.
can't do the appeal and Odessa can't do the appeal.
Mhm.
So we have he filed an appeal.
Mhm.
Do y'all understand that this is more drag out and more
It'll be
wasteful,
longer.
Money.
wasting money, the
Yes.
church's money? This man does not care.
No.
He does not.
He
care.
does not
He doesn't
care.
want a resolution. That's what
Does
He
it
not
does
want
not.
a
No,
resolution.
No, he wants the resolution.
He
He
wants to
just
be
wants
on
his
It-
own.
That's it.
He wants his own resolution.
So-
He wants his way.
So, Minister Griffin, for you to understand, when I try to explain to people the depth of evil that this man
It's
is,
evil.
you can't do this and not be evil and not be wicked.
Evil to the
Right.
You
bone.
cannot. in
Right.
order for you to do the things that you are doing. This is the reason why God, when he put Noah and them on the ark, he shut the door.
Yeah.
Come
Yes,
on.
he did.
Because
Yes,
what
he
we
did.
do as humans, we feel so well, you know, he's
We'll
the,
open
you know,
the door.
that's
Let them in.
this man
They
is
drowning.
they
Let's
drowning.
grab and bring them
His
in.
heart, his
Yeah.
heart is wicked.
Yeah.
His heart is wicked. And then you got the aid of people helping you to continue in your wickedness.
Yes.
You all are culpable.
Yep.
And you are all
All of
going
you.
to be responsible for
accountable.
all
And
of these
accountable.
people
And accountable.
on this side and on that
Lord
side.
knows.
Because if I could reach across the aisle, I know for a fact, I'm gonna tell you this, and this is what I feel in my heart. Y'all might not agree with this, but this is what I feel in my heart. I feel like Rachel don't want this to happen like this. I feel like Moye don't want this to happen like this. I feel like Deacon Grayson don't want this to happen like this. None of these people that are involved on that side, because they've been members of this church, they don't want to see this church go down. But your devil influence
Yes.
is muffling
Yes.
people who would say
Who aren't
something.
even members of New Life.
Not
Y'all
some of the
ain't
people
members
ain't
of
no.
New Life. Let me
Pressy
go-
ain't no member of New Life.
No.
When
Not
y'all become
at
members of New
all.
Life?
Rick
No.
Love not no member of New
Sure
Life.
not.
Y'all better
Y'all
look at
funding
that.
this man, giving this man
Ridiculous.
money to fight. You using the church money to fight the church. We're not suing the church. You using the church money to fight the church
From the beginning.
and trying to keep us
That
from
is
going this side.
ridiculous.
And if anybody comes on these grounds and they look at the disarray that these grounds are in, if you go inside the
Or the
sanctuary
Oh
sanctuary.
my Lord! After
and you
that.
see the disarray,
Chaos.
how it's falling apart, that is a telltale sign of the person whose spirit, the spirit of the person, the character of the person that is leading it, because you don't care about nothing. Whenever it's something is given, you know, when you were kids growing up, your parents give you a toy for Christmas,
You'll
and a
break
couple of
it.
days, you know,
Oh, yeah.
cast it
Gone.
away, it's
It's
all broke.
broken.
But when you started buying
If you
things
have
on
to
your
buy it
own,
on
care
your
for
own,
it.
you
you
what?
start
Care for
appreciating
And
it.
you appreciate it. more.
Appreciating. Bishop has spent a lifetime handing and taking. Let me
This is so
you know
sexy,
it
you
is.
know?
Y'all, we got to take a break. We're gonna take
So
a quick break. We're
sexy.
gonna come back, but I want y'all to understand some of these things. We're gonna come back and talk to y'all in just a minute, but we gotta take a break. We'll be right back.
Save me, save me, save me, save me, ooh, save me, save me, save me, save me, ooh, save me, save me, save me, save me, ooh, save me, save me, save me, save me. Save me.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We got a video that we want you all to see. I think is very, very important, and it is also telling. Take a look at this, y'all.
Of how her personality and her character has impacted your lives. And it's wonderful that this is no front. None of us are front. We really mean that.
Yes.
My wife really is deserving of this. She's not, somebody will do something like they do, undermining things. Oh, what they do for this one, or why they didn't do it for this one. They never done nothing for that. Don't you worry about that.
Yes.
Everybody else is on salary.
Yes.
Ella Hutchins and Pastor D is well taken care of. I gave him the house that I used to live in. He has a salary. He gets an honorarium, a salary every week. This lady gets nothing in the way of a salary. This is what you have done. And not only does she serve the church, you ought to pay her for taking care of me. I mean, you go home at in peace, to go home in peace, to go home in a place where you really want to be. I don't require a lot. I just, if I can get peace and your cooperation, that's the greatest thing I can have. All the rest, she does it for me. So it's all good. Now I'm going to ask you to take a few moments and greet her individually, whatever, and don't leave the refreshments here. Enjoy yourself. Ain't nowhere in the world I can take all this cake home. Just enjoy the
Man, listen, I remember that day so well.
Yeah.
We all.
I remember that
Yeah.
day so well. And y'all understand that the reason Bishop had to say what he said is because Dennis was putting it out there to different people that he don't do nothing for me.
He didn't show. He didn't even show.
And
up.
he didn't even show up.
show up.
Didn't he go out of town?
No, he was.
He
there.
was
No, he
there.
was
He
there
was
that
here.
day.
He
Okay.
left. He left. Yeah.
He left. Didn't even want to.
Come
Didn't even
in.
want to come in. Didn't even want to be a part. And so Bishop has spent a lifetime taking care
And covering
and
for
covering and even trying to assist him by sending him different places.
Yeah.
Nobody calling him to
Go
run a
nowhere.
revival or to preach or to speak anywhere.
Nowhere.
Nothing. And Bishop was doing that. And so he was putting it out there to the different ones. How you sowing seeds of discord against your brother about his wife?
Mm.
Right there.
And there was actually people that came to Bishop. Well, why you didn't do anything
Why you
for
didn't do
Pastor
nothing for
D?
Pastor
Because
D?
he was putting it in their
And
head.
that's why he
He made
That's
that
why he
comment.
made that
That's right.
statement.
Wow.
And Bishop has always been an open person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Always been an open book. He will
Yep.
tell you.
Exactly. He would let you know. He would let you know. And that was the thing. It was an ugly sight. Bishop had to stand there and say he was reprimanding the people.
Yeah.
He did it in a kind
Kind
way.
gesture,
Well,
yeah.
even if you remember, as we were planning this, Bishop gave us like 2 or 3 Sundays. He's like, look, on this Sunday,
Yep.
after service,
Yep.
I'm trying to find a way to surprise.
Yeah.
Boy, that was
I
a
remember.
hard
That was the
task.
hardest thing.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So that meant a lot to him.
It did.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
but that did take a toll on him.
It hurt him.
Like,
It hurt him to have to do that.
and
That's
so
really sad.
And then I even remember a few. Well, this was after Bishop had already transitioned. Bishop Wheeler, I don't know his first name, but he came here on a Sunday morning, and
Dennis invited him.
Yeah, Dennis invited
he got
him.
in the pulpit and say that you're gonna
Finally
finally,
get
you're gonna finally be able to get what you really deserve.
Wow.
You wasn't
Isn't
taken
that
And
care
what
of.
do you deserve? What have you done?
Oh,
Nothing.
And come on,
God.
and
But
Bishop
being
said
a
it-
leech.
and Bishop said it all right there.
You've been
You
a
lived in
leech.
free
I
house,
gave you
A
everything.
4-bedroom, 3-car garage. Let's not get it
free house,
twisted.
and a weekly salary.
Wow.
And a car.
A
And-
healthy salary.
Come on.
2 cars.
To do
Two
nothing.
Yeah.
cars. He could drive and basically to do nothing.
To do
But
nothing.
come up here to the church.
Bishop
that-
created a job
position.
position
He did.
That he
for
couldn't
him
handle.
because nobody could work with him. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Nobody
And I know you had your
could work
I,
with
I
him.
told Bishop I
He is
do not
not.
want
He
to
has no people skills. He didn't know how to talk to people.
Mm-mm.
He didn't know how to handle the management parts of anything. So Bishop gave him a position to give him a salary.
Exactly.
Wow.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and remember when Bishop Wheeler said that,
Mhm.
it was like the looks on everybody's faces, and
What did
when
he
we
tell
were
I
you?
like,
walked out.
trying to get what you deserve.
I walked
What-
out.
what does
That
that
was my
mean?
Sunday to leave.
Some people don't even know what to
They
say.
don't.
They don't even know what to say.
It's
That's a message?
ignorance. It's ignorance.
Ignorant,
It's
ignorant,
Oh my
ignorant.
gosh.
We are
Mm-mm.
for the record, no one under Pastor Derek W. Hutchins has ever said anything regarding this case that we have won anything.
Nothing.
We have never said
No.
that. We are the appeal is still in process that I want y'all to understand and think about this. It is wasteful
Mhm.
to take all this money when the church has been almost immobile
Mhm.
for a year, going on a year.
Mhm.
December 5th, Bishop will have been
next
dead a whole year.
A
And
year.
that's next week.
And we have not given out not one can good.
Absolutely.
Not one box
ministry
of
done
rice.
no ministry.
No
No
ministry
ministry.
whatsoever
Everything
have we done.
Everything has been shut down.
Yeah.
And that's been Bishop's vision. If
Yeah,
you remember
all
all
those
of
things
last
that
year, he
he-
said, I
oh
want
my
this
God.
church to become a Matthew 25.
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
Ooh, Drina, pull up.
Yeah.
Somebody
My
pull up
God.
Matthew 25 right quick.
My
Get
God.
that version that you
Mhm.
like to read.
Mhm.
When I was
Woo.
hungry,
My God.
when I was in
Fed
prison.
Mm-hmm.
Those were two fat ministries that we had working here.
Yep.
Shout out to Minister Kevin Sabbath.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Kev. Love you, man.
Wow. What version are we looking at?
That
Amplified.
Oh, amplified.
What
Matthew
verse is it?
25.
And you know,
That's
while they're
right.
finding that, the main thing is that's what we have to get back to. That's what real ministry is about, you know, and that's what Bishop would even that was his definition for ministry: finding the need and meeting it,
Yeah.
finding the hurt and
And
healing it. And we haven't been doing that, you know. And so that's
Oh,
why
yeah.
I commend Pastor
His
Derek for
verse.
what he was saying even on last night.
Yeah,
It's about souls.
it is. It is
You know,
definitely.
in this fight, we got to get back to the soul winning. We got to get back to, you know, meeting the needs of
Evangelizing
people.
and meeting. Thank you for saying that, because it reminds me, one of the things that to me that I know is this thing has what is being done and how it has been done has taken a toll on people's spiritual lives.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
It has taken a toll on their personal lives as
Yeah.
well. It has taken a toll on people's health
Yeah.
as well. And I know that people
Been drained.
have been drained, just been
God.
drained. But I want to say that we knew going into this, because we knew it was going to be a fight. We knew it was going to be ugly. But the whole thing that we wanted people to understand is that we want to save our church.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We want
Yes.
this ministry. It won't be a legacy if we're not here.
That's right.
That's
It
That's
won't
right.
be one.
That's right.
And for any man who is a father,
Mhm.
for any of you brethren that are fathers, whether you have a son or whether you have a daughter, you would never let anyone prohibit your child from having access to something that you worked hard
Absolutely.
for.
My Lord.
You would not do it.
No.
You
at
wouldn't
all.
care if it were your brother, your sister, your mother, your
At
father,
all.
your seed. You are going to protect. Drina, don't you protect your children?
Absolutely.
Better
Dr.
believe it.
Brockington, don't you protect your baby?
Absolutely.
Brother
Yeah.
Carter.
Absolutely.
And I protect mine. He
Exactly.
know I love him.
Come on.
What?
There nobody. I don't care if we do get into an argument, if we do fall out. That's my
That's
son.
still my child.
My child.
Period.
We're gonna
Yeah.
work it out. And just
Yeah.
because I use you as a sounding board does not mean that I don't love my child.
right.
And that's the thing
Right.
that
That's
people
That's it.
take that if I'm using you as a sounding board because you're my brother, you're my sister. I want to talk to you. I don't have anybody else to talk to.
Wow.
So I'm going to tell you about some of these issues that me and my son are having. I still love my
Still
son,
love your
And
son.
no
that's
matter
the
how
thing
angry
that
I
people
am.
used to always say about relationships. When you marry, don't go telling everybody your
Your
business.
business.
Yeah.
Because when you forgive your spouse, that
They
person
still
will
mad.
still that grudge.
They still
And
mad.
that is what's happened.
Yep.
Mhm.
Just because you know that they had a little fuss
Which
or
everybody
whatever.
does.
Who doesn't? Listen, my mama and papa can tell you some of the conversations that I have had,
Listen.
and I can tell you some of the conversations that she has had.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, that's my
That's
mama,
my mother.
and you better not try her.
That's the truth.
Exactly.
Period. You better not try her.
And he made it plain that guess what? His son was his legacy.
His
Yeah.
legacy.
Period. That's what he said. That's
Legacy.
his legacy.
Y'all heard the radio.
Over and
Y'all
over
heard the
again.
radio conversation.
This is my brother.
Mhm.
That's what he said.
Mhm.
He is my brother, not my assistant,
Mhm.
not my co-pastor.
Not my
That is
successor.
my brother, and he's not my successor.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
his
What were you gonna
word.
say,
I
brother?
was just gonna say, and even in that, with that legacy, you know, that legacy it starts out. Well, I'll say it starts here But I believe even for Pastor Derek, it's going to go abroad.
Oh,
Yeah.
God,
Oh,
yeah.
That's the
He-
purpose.
That's the
Absolutely.
purpose.
That's the purpose.
He
Absolutely.
laid
That's
that
the
foundation for it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And our aim is to work with him because
Yeah.
we believe
Amen.
that he is ready to do the work, and he wants people around him who
Mhm.
will work with him. That's what we have to do because there's so much to do at this church.
So
Yeah.
much,
There's so
Lord.
much
A
to
lot.
do in
And it
this
takes
community.
everybody.
and
Every
it takes
hand,
Yeah.
every
everybody.
hand.
This community
place
is
to do it, yeah.
diverse. We have a very diverse. You talking about a melting pot?
What?
Pine Hills is a true melting pot of
Yes.
cultures and people.
Yes.
And there needs to be a staple ministry in here that does that. And that's what
Mhm.
Bishop was
And that's what we were
building.
when he
That's
was
what we
here.
were doing when he was here.
Yes.
Y'all understand how many families we fed on a weekly basis?
They'll be lined up for miles.
Yes.
Miles.
Yes.
Miles we
Yeah.
fed families. And we also had a bustling prison ministry. There was so
Yes.
many things that we
Oh,
were on the
man.
verge
Wow.
of
Yeah.
doing and coming together. There was some kinks that needed to be worked out, but that's
It
with
was- but it was worth
But do
anything.
y'all remember how many of those that were trying to reform their life that would
Yes,
come in?
exactly.
Yep.
They were working the
course.
ministry. They was
Mhm.
trying to learn more
Yeah,
things and
that's right.
get, and some of them came in with shorts on
Yeah.
and
Bishop
t-shirts.
didn't care.
But then it started then they would wear dress pants.
Mhm.
They put on their dress shirts.
Yeah.
But they just started loving
Yeah.
coming to service.
That's right.
That's
That's
the one
right.
thing we can say. Bishop really loves people.
Yes,
Yes.
he did.
And
Yes.
if you're
Yes,
in
he
leadership and you don't love people, you're in the wrong.
You in the wrong
place.
profession.
You're in the wrong place.
Wrong business.
Wrong place.
Wrong
This thing is not for your personal enrichment
Or your
to
personal
enrich yourself
gratification,
or your
because-
personal gratification.
Right.
You just like,
Ministry.
the to be able to stand in front of people and do like this. That was the whole, like, it's like you want the praise, but God is
Yeah.
not getting the praise.
See?
You want the praise.
Be
You
careful.
telling you thought that,
You better
and so
be
he wanted to
careful.
he tried to throw that off on the music
Yeah,
department or the
yes,
music ministry.
yes.
Talking
That
about y'all
was the
singing
ego
ego
music.
music. I was like,
What
ego
is
music.
ego? I don't know what that means. What is ego music?
Well, he's familiar with that.
He's very, and I sat in the office and I said ego music. I said, now when I was back, when I was a young kid and when we sung in the band, we was touring with Jodeci and all these different people. I know that's the kind of
That's
ego
ego
music I
music.
sang. But when I'm in the church, I'm not singing ego music. When
How
you
can
know the ministry and the people that are there, we've had these conversations about what are we going to sing, because you have to know the
Yes,
church that
exactly.
you are ministering to. We never sung no ministry music. I mean, no ego music. We may not have sang some songs that were right for that day or that they like, but we ain't never sung no
It
ego
was all for
music.
the glory of God.
All
All
for the glory of God.
God.
All.
Absolutely.
And he talking about wanting to be like what was the lady name? Catherine
Catherine Coleman,
and Shambach and
A.A. Allen.
A.A. Allen and
Oh,
those I did some studies on those people after you told me those people had some serious
yes,
Oh,
they did. Like
man.
healing-
Problem.
And Benny
healing
Hinn.
They-
ministry and stuff like that.
and and they're the walls that the weight that was on them, the vices that they fought through.
Absolutely.
That's how come their
Spiritual level,
anointing was
spiritual
exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm
No,
sitting there
big
listening
things
to him
that
even that time, y'all, when he got mad because Minister Carter had to go to Rhode Island,
Mhm.
and he said, Minister Carter said, Elder Marcus, you play the organ for me. I said, sure. It ain't gonna be nothing because it ain't like
He don't tune up.
it ain't gonna go
It
nowhere.
is.
You
It's what it
know?
is.
He had 20 pages of notes trying to go through, and the Spanish church was up having
Oh.
church already. We had
That happened.
never
That was happening.
frequently.
Consecutively.
It
Yeah.
kept
Yeah.
happening. Like,
We're supposed to be out by 1
people
o'clock.
That's
texting me
because
said, "But what is going on?" I said, "He got
he-
6 more pages." They
6
said, "You
more
lying?" I
pages.
said, "I'm
Yeah.
looking at them. I'm counting them."
Yeah.
Lord have mercy.
And when I got on the organ, he looked over and tried to shame me. I was
Yeah, he
like,
did.
bro,
What
Yes, he
say?
did.
number
Like,
one, you
right.
can't.
You ain't gonna
can't
kill me.
shame me. I mean, you ain't
Like, no,
gonna
you
kill
gonna
me.
kill me like you did.
Like, yeah, and that I was
Like you did,
now
Bishop.
that I was offended.
That's
by
what
that.
he said.
I was
'Cause
extremely offended.
That
You are
went
not your
viral.
brother.
And then when we got into the back office, he talking about, well, what's going on? I said, what do you mean? What's going on? Well, Randolph left. I said, listen, I'm not chasing behind no grown man to find
Right.
out what.
Why should you?
And he asked me to cover for him. It ain't like you doing
Right.
something so spectacular that you need the organ going up and down. And talking about I was going to end it with what song? Talking about because of, I don't know, some song. I'm like, bro, that ain't nothing that I don't know how to play.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We could have ended it and been gone, and then you want to try to do this dramatic overhaul, try to whatever, like he add some color to it. You need a whole, but you need what's them big crayon boxes?
That's crazy though.
They got 500 colors.
Even in that approach in ministering, you can't
So
manufacture.
No,
You
No,
can't
you
manufacture 'cause you don't know
cannot.
what God
You
has.
cannot.
Anytime you minister, that should be your focus the whole time. God, whatever you want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't
Give
know
you
how.
the glory. But
Exactly.
he can get the glory.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
leadership is under there is a paradigm shift, and there's an ultra dimensional shift that is taking place in leadership in the church, particularly in the Church of God in Christ. And the reason that it is because Church of God in Christ is at the catalyst for every Pentecostal denomination and then the other denominations that are around it.
Mhm.
So with the paradigm shift being made, people's eyes are opening up.
Yeah.
They are
Absolutely.
seeing that this dictatorial style of leadership is killing people.
Yep.
Yes.
It's almost witchery.
Yeah.
Of course it is.
It's witchcraft
Yeah, in the church.
because they will use scripture to burden the people
Yeah.
and manipulate.
Which is the same thing they did in slavery.
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
exact
same
same
Exactly.
thing.
Same mentality.
The
Same
exact same
mentality.
thing. And we can no longer, we can't operate like that. We cannot, we can't continue to, ministries are not going to grow under that. As a matter of fact, it's more of a weight
Yes.
Yeah.
and a weakening weight and a chain. And so people are coming into the knowledge of the word even more.
Yeah.
They understand that you use the word to browbeat them and beat them down.
Right.
Stop trying to beat these people up by using scriptures on them. That is
Manipulative.
and manipulate. Stop
Yes.
doing that. Feed these people the word.
That's
The
right.
Bible said, "Feed my sheep."
Yes,
What he
right.
told Peter, he said, "Peter,
Feed my sheep.
feed my
my
If
sheep.
you love me, that's
If
what
you
do.
love me,
That's
you'll
what you
feed my
want.
sheep.
He said, "Feed my lamb too."
Feed my."
Mhm.
Hey,
Feed my sheep.
y'all have to understand. So what we're looking at is a person who wants something that was never rightfully his,
Right.
and he's saying that we want something that's not rightfully ours. The church belongs to
It is
the
ours.
people.
The people.
It is
Yeah.
ours.
It is
And
ours.
that's what Bishop wanted.
Yes.
Because if he wanted anything different, he would have stated it.
Dang.
Exactly.
The reason that we became an independent church, and Minister Carter can tell y'all because he remembers it more exactly. I think Dr. Brockington, you remember when Bishop made this church an independent church. Yes, we are Kojic, but we are independent by the fact that we are not in a district,
Right.
nor are we in a jurisdiction.
Mhm.
We do not report to any. Bishop was our bishop.
Mhm.
That's right.
He was our
He
bishop.
was our bishop.
Mhm.
We haven't given reports since 2014, maybe.
Wow.
Or it's been some time. We haven't.
But Carter said that we're only not that way so that we could try to take over the church.
No,
He
As if we did that.
you didn't know
implied
Bishop.
he implied as if we created that.
Mhm.
That started with Bishop.
Bishop did that on
created
purpose.
that on purpose himself, not us.
And there are a lot of independent Kojic bodies around the world.
Absolutely.
One very, very, very famous bishop that we just recently found out.
We can't mention
And
it.
we ain't
Can't
gonna mention
mention
it, but we
He was
just
independent.
recently found out he was independent.
Mhm.
Now, go take that, put it in your pipe and
Mhm.
smoke it. This is an awakening. There is an awakening that is happening, and don't get scared about it because it's not normal to you.
Right.
Don't be afraid of the change.
Right.
It's
It has to
happening.
happen.
It
Has
is
to
happening,
happen.
people.
Yeah.
Change is inevitable.
It is
Mhm.
inevitable. They've been doing. Think about the change. You know what? I'm gonna tell you this. This is funny. My father would never have worn a Jerry curl. Never. And when he saw preachers with Jerry curls, he had something to say about them. I ain't gonna say what y'all call them because people don't say that word no more in public. It's not a good one. but it start with an S and end with a Y.
Oh,
That's what my daddy used to call a preacher that wore Jerry curls.
mm-mm.
Yeah, he didn't believe in that. He didn't believe that a man. He didn't believe that a man should wear Jerry curls. He didn't believe it. And so I say that to say we take things and we box it in to say this is what a Christian should or should not
Our
Right.
own opinions.
do. Or our own opinions. There was nothing wrong with them men wearing the Jerry curls.
A lot of them did it. Hey, if you like that stuff.
But he did not like no Jerry curl on the man. Your mama can wear one, your aunts can wear one, but
Yeah.
he told me and my brother, you ain't no man with no Jerry curl in my house.
Oh Lord.
You ain't have no curl. We wanted one. My cousin had the curl, looked like
All the way down.
Ready for the World. There was an R&B group called
Oh
Ready for the
my
World. He had that long curl, pineapple haircut, faded up around the long tail in the back. Well, I wanted me a curl. Okay. Why I wanted me a curl so bad? Why I wanted me a curl? Man said, no, sir, not in this house. So we changes. It was acceptable for them to do that. It was acceptable. So what we have to look at are that when the changes come, not every change is good, but this change has to happen. Y'all don't think that God is ordaining this because it's happening all around the world.
Yeah, we got a good comment right there. It says the bishops make their churches independent so that they maintain control of the people's property.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, the national organization
Absolutely.
takes over.
That's
Exactly.
it.
That's the comment.
That's the
And-
comment.
That's
And I don't think a lot of people understand.
They don't
with-
understand that.
with
Wow.
Bishop serving all those years as the chairman of the Pastors and Elders Council, he had
He
to
saw so much.
he had to help so many pastors
Save
Yes.
their church.
Save
and
their
get
church.
back in their churches.
Yeah.
Wow.
So he saw it firsthand. He
Mhm.
knows firsthand, and he wanted to protect his ministry from it.
He was a champion.
Wow.
He was a champion
Yes, he
of the
was.
pastors and elders.
Yeah,
Bishop Hutchins was
he
a
helped
champion.
many. He helped
And
many.
When I think about the shoes, who could feel?
Man,
No,
ain't it- well,
Now.
I ain't gonna say it, but
Bishop
it
was
ain't
the
been the
under.
same.
but
Ain't been the
Listen,
same
Bishop
since.
was the underdog's pastor. You hear me?
Mhm,
Oh my
He
God.
helped the underdog.
mhm.
Oh my God.
So many pastors, like I said, lost their churches
Yeah,
to the
he fought for them.
jurisdiction.
Yeah,
We might as well say to the national church
yes.
and the national body. And
They lost
Bishop-
their placement.
Exactly. And Bishop had to
Lost-
help these
mhm.
pastors get
Yes.
back in their churches,
Yes,
get their properties back.
yes.
Come on, man.
And y'all listening to a man dog Bishop out like Earl Carter, dog Bishop out the way he did, dog
14
Bishop,
years.
dog so many people in him. He talks about Bishop Gilliard. He talks about Byron Stevenson.
That was a
He
lot of
talks
people,
about
man.
a whole lot of
Everybody.
people. And I'm telling folks, if he had pulled off those videos, and he wouldn't have no money because that's his platform. That's how he
Monetary.
gets.
Yeah.
That's how he gets paid to talk junk about
That's crazy.
the
to
Church
me.
of God in Christ and what's going on here at this church. It
That's
gives
how he
him
made his
something to
name.
talk about.
Yeah, he made
But
his
he's
name
getting
better.
his information from a dead horse. Your information you get from a
You
dead
gotta
horse.
learn how to proof and fact check.
I don't think he cares.
He doesn't care.
No.
I don't
It's
think he
obvious.
cares.
He doesn't
I don't
care.
think he cares. He just wants people
Just
to
open
get
his
on
mouth
it.
and says
So
whatever.
I don't care. You can talk about me all you want to. I don't care. You don't pay my bills.
That's right.
You don't pay my mortgage.
What you
You don't
say?
buy my food. You don't put no clothes on my back. You
What
don't
you
take care
say?
of my family. You don't do nothing for me.
Nothing.
So you
Nothing
can talk
for
all
me,
the junk
baby.
you want to. I'm built like a Ford
What
truck,
you
baby.
say?
I'm tough. I
Yeah.
can handle it.
You-
I'm Ford tough. I can handle it. I can handle it.
Tough.
I can handle anything you throw at me. I ain't scared.
Ain't
The
scared
thing, the matter of this church does not thrive off of you. This church thrives off of the people,
Yeah.
regardless of which faction that they are supposed to be in, whether they are under Dennis or whether they are under Pastor Derek W. Hutchins II. this church will thrive and survive without you. This building will stand and still
Yes,
be
sir.
here when we dead and
Yeah.
in the ground.
Exactly.
Those streets out there gonna still be,
Yep.
the streets still gonna be paved, them sidewalks still gonna be there. The environment around it may change, but those trees are still
Yep.
gonna keep
They're gonna
going
be
when we
there.
dead and
Yep.
turn back into dust. What you say about New Life Church of Orlando, you don't know what you
You
talking
don't know
about.
what you're talking about
At all.
You don't.
at all.
You have no clue, no idea.
And that's ridiculous.
We are in here every Sunday. We are in here every Tuesday. We are on these grounds looking at the decay
Yeah.
and the erosion and the leadership that is over, that's still taking the money.
Yep.
Want to talk about the money?
Let's talk about the money.
Let's talk about the money.
Because see, that's another thing we
Talk
got to
about the
touch
mortgage.
on.
Talk about
Talk
the
about the
money.
mortgage that ain't been paid. Yeah, it's a
Come
moratorium on there. Dennis and them are bidding that thing out. But do you know how much money has been misappropriated? Do you know how much money has been misappropriated?
They must not know.
They can't know.
How could you possibly know that
They
and
can't.
still be saying what you're saying? It doesn't make
Within
sense to me.
1 month of the passing of our bishop, over $100,000 was gone
And there's no accounted
No.
for.
and not
Almost
accounted
200.
for.
Almost
Close-
200.
close to
Close
Close
to
to 200.
200
Yeah, close to the 200.
in a month.
In 1 month, from December to January.
Yeah.
Account
That
decimated.
was proved in court.
Decimated.
Proven.
Where did that money go? And then we
Unaccounted
saw
for.
checks written and saw names on those
to
checks.
cash.
Tangela
To
Thomas
cash.
name, checks to
cash.
cash. And what about, don't even know what happened to the cash out. Look, for the month of January, what was the
Wow.
tithe and offering?
Oh man, it was over $100,000.
Over
Tithe and
100,000.
offering. That ain't even talking about the money that the
The
tenants
Giblify
give.
and all of that.
This is the
Mhm.
cash app and the Giblify.
Wow.
That's right.
Online giving.
Online giving. And then in February, it was almost right the same.
It was-
60,
yeah.
70
It
somewhere.
started declining. The
In
giving started
March-
declining in March.
There was a whole separate account for
For
just
just giving.
online
Yeah,
giving.
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
online giving.
Electronic, yeah.
So
Electronic,
y'all have no people
Wow.
stood out there, they're getting this information from y'all, getting it backwards.
Backwards.
We are here.
What your source?
We
now?
are here.
Yeah.
Wrong information.
And we pulled the records. We had to stop that, but we are still bleeding. You know
Yeah.
why? Because read that order, what the judge said, Randolph, about the money. Where is it?
Oh.
About
Mhm.
collection of the funds.
Mhm.
All right, it must be
You
on
mean
there.
about
Right
right
here,
the
look.
IAB?
That's number 2.
Mhm.
The interim administrative board shall have responsibility of the day-to-day, week-to-week operations of the business of the corporation, including the collection and deposits of tithe and offerings. It shall make certain that bills and expenses of the church are paid. These bills and expenses shall be limited to necessary expenses to include utilities, mortgages, and repairs in the event of any unforeseen emergencies. Other monies may be removed with the majority vote of the interim administrative board. And it, where was, I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Well, it said that-
Where was it?
We're saying that the money
They-
is
they're
all
supposed to
income.
collect it
There it
together.
is. There it
Okay.
is, number
Oh, yeah.
3.
All income derived from rental/lease agreements shall be collected in the presence of the interim administrative board.
Mhm.
All of those monies shall be deposited into an account managed by the interim administrative board until further ordered of this court.
That money was supposed to be that money is supposed to be collected in front of the
The four.
four
four,
people.
yeah.
2 from that side, 2 from the other side.
Mhm.
Didn't happen.
Never happened.
Didn't happen.
But
We-
allegedly, the other side was told from the beginning to say no to everything.
That's what I was. That
Yeah.
allegedly, that's what we heard. That don't even go
Don't-
in with an
oppose
option.
everything.
Oppose everything.
Oppose everything. They never came in to work together.
Nope.
Not one time. That's
Nope.
alleged.
They had no allegedly they had no mindset to
Mhm.
work together.
No,
Exactly.
But that's what the judge wanted us to do for the betterment of the church, for the enrichment of the church, for the pew members.
Yes.
There is no reason that whether you like it or not, that we are opposing pastors. And see, that's the title of his video last week, I believe. The title of it, the Derek
Hutchins versus
Dennis
Dennis
Hutchins.
Yeah.
This ain't
And
no
it's
Derek
never
Hutchins
been
versus
a
no Dennis.
versus.
This is Dennis versus New Life Church of Orlando.
Right. Because this is what Earl Carter is failing to understand. Derek didn't come down here and say, hey, y'all, come back me.
exactly
Right.
He
Right.
never
didn't.
did
Right.
that.
He
What
sure didn't.
happened was things that when the chaos started, we then reached out to him like, hey, man, you're not going to come over here and help your dad at church. That's literally what I said. I'm just going to be real. And I said it kind of like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, this your daddy's stuff.
Mhm.
You're not going to come over here and help us.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. You're fighting Pastor Derek like he's the person who's out here trying to maliciously get something when we were crying for help out here in the wilderness, needing a shepherd,
Mhm. And believe it,
needing somebody to come and help us get through this transition and this foolishness.
and even when it was said at the homegoing, that was our only hope at some point.
Mhm.
Right.
That that they were going to work together.
Work
It was
together.
like, okay, well,
Yeah.
Let's think
And
about-
allegedly it was said that he'll never work.
No, he said that to me.
Okay.
He
I
said
ain't
that to
hear
me.
it. Okay.
He said that to me. I asked him point blank in a meeting that we had in the office. I said, do you ever see a point? And I know Minister Carter had
I had a
same
conversation
conversation with him. And I asked, I said, you being the oldest remaining child of your parents,
Mhm.
you have this opportunity to bring your family.
Mhm.
You the
Together.
man of God,
Yeah.
right?
Bring your family together.
Let me do that. You're the man of God. So you have this opportunity to bring your family together
Yep.
so that you can mend fences. This is your opportunity.
Your
You have
opportunity.
prime. You. He said to me, no, absolutely
He
not.
told me he wasn't welcome here.
He wasn't
Wow.
welcome.
And they tried to get him banned from
From
the
Coming to
Oh, that's
church.
right.
the unveiling of the
Unveiling,
chair.
that is true.
Of
He
the
told
unveiling of the
security
chair.
not to let Derek Jr. into the church.
Initially. Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
told him not let him in.
Yep.
And when the security came and told me, they said he told me not to let that man in. I said,
Ain't no way.
I said, what man? He said he told me not to let Derek in. I said, who told you that? And he said Dennis told him don't let Derek in. He said, man, I'm not
No,
going
why
to
would
do
he-
that.
Absolutely not.
I'm not
That's
gonna
so
do that. Stop
rude.
that man from coming in. This is
The
The
can you
unveiling of his
imagine
father's chair.
somebody
Come on.
pulling you away from something that is so dear to your heart, your
Yes.
father, your mother,
Mhm.
and you being that evil, nasty, you like Athaliah,
Mhm. That's
who
wicked,
went out
Father.
and killed all her
That's
nephews
wickedness.
Mm.
so she could take over the throne.
Mhm.
My God.
The daughter of Ahab and Jezebel
Mm.
Yeah.
went and killed her nephews,
Mm, mm, mm.
except for one. They ran and hid the one.
Mhm.
And he came and later became king.
Mm,
But you have that type of hatred,
mm.
but never like the young man. Well, he probably told me he coming here to start his own church. I said, I don't
And that
care
was
if
a
he.
lie.
I
And that was a lie.
it was a
propaganda.
big
It was
lie.
a lie.
I said, who told you that?
That was a lie.
That
Who
was our
told you that?
conversation too.
Yeah.
And
I
that
said,
lie.
over the microphone.
I said,
I'm like,
if he, man, that was so
Out of
dumb.
order.
Dumb.
It was
That was the
out of
most
order.
stupid thing I ever heard of. I was like, why would you get on the microphone?
And lie.
These people,
I
the
said
the
it there,
tension
too.
was already
Yes,
like there was
of
so
course
much
it was.
tension in the
Week
church.
after week
You
after
don't even
week
have the
after week.
sense enough to be a good leader to see that. I said, bro, you need to get some counseling in
Mhm,
here.
mhm.
Talk to these people square because there's a lot of rumors swirling around right now. People are uneasy, and you are not doing anything. I told them, you don't even have to tell the people everything. Tell them something.
Yep.
Talk to the people.
He said God told him not to meet with the people.
That's
God-
what God ain't know.
God ain't
That's
never
God
said
that said
If
that.
I hear
God
one
did
more
not
people
say that.
talk,
I
don't even
talk
know
about
even-
their prophets and
That was-
Maybe his God told
That was
him that.
Big
but-
Beelzebub. That was God.
All right, maybe his God
That
told him.
was
Wow.
Beelzebub talking.
But the
whispering,
God of
whispering.
people.
You had too many collard greens that night and went to sleep on
had
a
a
greasy
nightmare.
stomach.
What that-
Yeah, they had a nightmare.
That's what that was.
God ain't told you not to speak to his
His
people.
My
people.
Lord.
Not if he put you over the people,
That
he ain't gonna
makes
tell you
no
not to.
sense
How
at
God gonna tell you the way that God communicates to us is through voices.
And through people.
Through people, through your voice. Your voice. And you tell me God told you don't talk to the people. Well, then that means that you're supposed to be sitting down and not preaching.
Yeah,
and
Right,
teaching,
because
right?
you're talking to us by preaching. So don't preach.
And that goes, I wouldn't believe that anyway. As many lies as that man told so many lies. And that's why I put him on speaker that time. When I went down, when I came into the church, I went down the street and I met one of the other elders, and I put him on speakerphone so the elder could hear him talking.
Yeah.
And he said, I didn't tell my brother to tell you that. I didn't tell Randall to say nothing like that. I never said that. I said, well, he said you did. So who's lying, you
Somebody
or Randall? Which one of y'all telling the truth and which one of y'all lying? I didn't say that, but I know he said it because one thing about Randall is he tell everything.
Oh my God.
He tell everything.
And the thing about it is, even when it came down to that rehearsal, I remember that when I came and he came to me personally saying, there's something I'm going to have to do, but I need to know that, that you with me.
Here we go with that again.
And I said, well, I mean, as long as you're the leader, the pastor, but
what you talking about?
But I'm gonna have to do something now, and I'm gonna look out for you. I'm gonna take care of you.
Wow.
Because we were supposed to have a meeting that
That's
day.
right.
Look at that manipulation
Oh,
and
yeah.
deceit.
It was supposed to, it was in the foyer of the church. I had just walked in for rehearsal, and the church we had just got the new keyboard.
Yep, he wanted to show the keyboard to Randall.
And then, but
Show
eventually,
Randolph
what happened in that meeting? That's when Randall was telling me that, well, we got to get rid of Marcus and so forth, and it went haywire from there.
And I had already told him. See, I had already told him. I'll sit down. I don't have to do anything. I can sit. You can let your brother do it, but your brother can't do this. I said that your brother cannot do this. I said Randall cannot do this. He
And that
cannot
has been
lead a
proven.
music ministry. Can't do it. My brother can sing. My brother can play. Yes, he can. He can sing. He can play. I'm not taking that away from him, but he is not a ministry leader. He is not. And your brother can't do it. And so I said, but if at your behest, these are my exact words. At your behest, I'll sit down. No, you ain't got to do that. No, you don't have to sit down. You don't have to blah blah blah. I'm gonna let him come in and blah blah blah. It's like, all right, cool. I'm saying it, but I don't agree with everything that you're doing. And we'll walk away. Do I have your
loyalty?
Are you with me? Are you with? I said, as long as you are the pastor. And he said, that's what he told Randolph. That's what Randolph said to him. Is what we just being honest. If God got you here, I'm gonna do my level best, right?
Exactly. That's what I told him. I said, I'm committed to new life. And
Exactly.
I initially told him, I said, I'm not committed to a man. It's rather that be you. I'm committed to
new life.
New life. This is what God planted me. And this is what God brought me to this place to be able to minister and so forth. So I'm here. I'm here. But
that was the crazy thing. And so when I put him on speaker so that I could have a witness to his lies, because he lied over the phone, and I know Randall would tell. He gonna tell everything, because he called me and says a few things, and he was mad at me. You said this. I was like, listen, I ain't, man, shut up, get off my phone. Then but before I could even, when I left where I was going, before I could even get down the street, he didn't call me. Because I called him. He didn't call me. After he said, I didn't say that, all is good, we're still on, we're fine with it. 5 minutes after we got finished with the call, I sat down and I left. I'm getting ready to leave. He sends me a text message saying that I was fired.
Through text message.
Through text.
Through text message.
This is the same night.
This
is the same night that he told me that he had something he had to do.
Wow.
And I need to know that, you with me. I'm gonna have to do something.
And that is so weird to me how he was trying to get us like Pledge of Allegiance to him or
I wouldn't do it.
individually. Like that is the most
I couldn't do it.
witchery thing that I've ever seen in my life.
That was never gonna happen with me. That was never gonna happen.
Me either.
Even though
Ever.
I wanted to be a person that worked with him, and we tried so very hard. We meant to support. We started off with that in mind. We're like, okay, we're gonna do this.
We did our best.
The whole shock
we
of
did our best.
Bishop Sheard even standing up there and saying that he
Honey,
stepped up in that
you
court.
couldn't hear a pin drop when all that was going on.
When he stood in that court, when he sat on that court and said that the bishop installed him in front of 2,000 people, 3,000 people, that never happened.
And
There was no installation service. Lied under oath.
Lied under oath.
Lied.
And
that,
you didn't know
that,
the church was independent. How could he not
he knew
know
it.
these details?
Right.
He knew it, trying to manipulate, bend the truth
Oh my goodness.
to his favor. So, and that's what bothers me so much about it. Doesn't bother me. It boggles my mind that someone would hear and know that this man is a liar and that he's telling these lies, and they still support. Bible say a liar won't even tarry in his life. And it also said all liars shall have their part in the lake, which burning with fire and brimstone. And you support that? You support that?
That's right.
Man, all y'all crazy if y'all do. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be real. If my daddy would say, if you see me walk through the fire, look like Crispy Critter, you gonna follow me in it? I said, no, sir. Why would you follow somebody who is doing these things? He's draining the money. He's draining the money, and ministry is at a complete standstill. The attorney, his attorney, McMillan, asked me, well, how would you say that the church is doing now? I said, it's like an avalanche.
Wow.
You ever seen an avalanche?
Yep. That's exactly what he answered.
Have you ever seen an avalanche?
Wow.
You've seen plenty of them on TV, and it devours everything in its way. It knocks down trees, houses, and everything. That's how far we're at a standstill.
Yeah.
The avalanche is happening. We all at the bottom of the mountain, covered in snow. Ain't nothing happening. So, ladies and gentlemen, the appeal is in process. It's going to cost $100,000 or so, and it's on our backs. He may have gotten a few funds allegedly from Pressy, allegedly from Rick Love, allegedly from others who are helping to fund his fight against the church.
New Life Church.
He's using the church money to fight the church. Only in America.
Only in America.
Only in America.
Only.
Oh.
Feel like
Only
Don
America.
King.
Right.
Y'all join us again. Join us again next week. Next Wednesday. We'll be with y'all, but we got to go.
Save me.
Love y'all.
Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. Save me. Save me. Ooh. Save me. Save me. baby.